This is the JTV Caribbean News. I am Sean Rose. At the invitation of the government of Grenada, a team from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, visited the island from May 28 to June 4 to hold policy discussions with the government on the parameters for a possible new fund program. The discussions focused on the current economic situation in Grenada, the envisaged reform agenda of the new government, its priorities and plans for growth and job creation, and the need to return the public debt to a sustainable footing through a comprehensive restructuring. After the discussions, the development partners, the Eastern Caribbean Central Bank, the Caribbean Development Bank, the World Bank, and a delegation from the European Commission based in Barbados were briefed on the mission and their likely roles to support the government of Grenada as it moves ahead with its plans for economic revival and job creation. The government and the IMF will continue to work closely in the weeks ahead. A solar-powered charging station for electric cars is due to arrive in the Cayman Islands next week. It's the first ever not only in the Cayman but in the Caribbean. With gas prices on the rise, are more people choosing to go green on the road? Cayman 27's Monica Walton has more in this report.
Here you've got your shift lever.
With just the push of a button, this plug-in hybrid Chevrolet Volt is ready for the road. CEO of Cayman Automotive John Felder says since getting the green light, the electric car market is on the rise. All 14 of his models have been sold.
There's obviously more people approaching us now. As summer arrives, the gas prices usually go up.
This is the top-selling electric car in the US at the moment, and it's the only one of its kind with this technology in the world. It runs on electricity, but when you run out, it switches over to a small generator, which runs a small gas engine, so you don't have to stop to charge up. At the moment, there are 4 charging stations around the island, but these aren't solar-panelled just yet. But there are plans for a network of 14 across Cayman.
We have another 4 en route now, which are going to Cabo Beach, Car Museum.
The first ever solar-powered charge station in the Caribbean will soon be installed at Governor's Square. A prototype was unveiled in 2011, and 2 years later, it's now ready for action.
You have an abundance of sunlight here in Grand Cayman and throughout the Caribbean, so why not take advantage of it?
Mr. Felder says going green could save you cash in the long run. He says it costs $3 to charge his electric car to drive 100 miles, and with gas around $6 to a gallon, that works out around $30 to travel the same distance, which is 10 times more expensive with gas. Mr. Felder says he hopes with the arrival of the new solar-powered chargers, it will force Cayman to think greener and cleaner. Monica Walton, Cayman 27.
Caribbean countries are looking to China to help develop their agricultural sector and are seeking to take advantage of a $50 billion fund made available by the Chinese government. Caribbean agriculture ministers joined their counterparts from Latin America and China for 2 days of talks this week in Barbados. According to a statement, officials at the meeting have adopted a declaration in which they pledged to deepen and expedite cooperation among their countries, making full use of scientific and technological developments. Barbados Agriculture, Food, Fisheries and Water Resource Management Minister Dr. David Estwick said Barbados was developing a project with the Cayville campus of the University of the West Indies for a Center for Food Security and Entrepreneurship, aimed at promoting research and training in sustainable food production and entrepreneurship in the Caribbean, in collaboration with international partners such as China. Antigua and Barbuda's Agriculture Minister Hilson Batiste said he would be seeking funds to acquire new technologies to assist farmers who are losing an estimated 80% of their onion crop due to inadequate harvesting equipment. A United Nations Food Relief Agency says it remains extremely concerned by the plight of 1.5 million people in Haiti who need food assistance following extreme weather conditions and poor harvests. In addition to the 1.5 million facing food insecurity, the World Food Programme said a further 6.7 million people in the impoverished French-speaking Caribbean country are struggling to meet their own food needs on a regular basis. According to Caribbean360.com, come, the agency established agreements with 15 partners and had begun emergency distribution to 200,000 beneficiaries through schools in the worst affected communities. World Food Programme spokesperson Elizabeth Bars told reporters that the agency plans to assist 1.1 million people in 2013, more than half of them children, through school meals and specialized food to treat malnutrition. Meanwhile, the National Coordination for Food Security identified 44 communes in Haiti where the prevalence of severe food insecurity was above 50% of the rural population. WFP said it is also providing about 34,000 vulnerable people in rural areas with income opportunities via Cash for Assets programs. However, Bars said the World Food Programme urgently needs $17.2 million in funding to meet these needs, and that the agency is currently facing a shortfall of $1.5 million to cover emergency preparedness. For the JTV Caribbean News, I'm Sean Rose.
Coming up next on JTV News. Premier says potential investors are targeting Prospect Reef and Beef Island. A record high number of students from the HLSCC Virgin Gorda campus joined others on Tortola for the 20th graduation exercise. Breakthrough Conference inspires participants to make bold steps. And kindergarten students got an early appreciation for the work environment.